Today we are going to be looking at the 70 best English national players and their country of origin. Just stick around to the end and you will find out just how many players aren't from England. With that, let's get started. Starting us off is Sam Johnstones, whose parents are both from England. Next is Jordan Pickford. His mother is from the United Kingdom, while his father is from Asian descendants, but the country is still unknown. Next is Aaron Ramsdale, whose parents are both from England. Dean Henderson, whose parents are both from England. Nicky Pope, whose parents are both from England, but his family background indicates that he is 50 to 60% of English origin. Jack Butland, whose parents are also from England. Alex McClary, whose parents are both of English descendants, but he may also be of Irish. Marcus Bettinelli is of mixed heritage, as his mother is of English descent and his father is of Italian descent. Tom Hilton, who is also of English descendants. Next is Fakayo Tomori, who was born in Canada to Nigerian parents. Mark Gui, who is a descendant of Ivory Coast. Harry Maguire, whose mother and father are both from England, but his grandparents were born in the Northern Ireland. John Stones, whose parents are both from England. Eric Dyer, who was born in England to English parents but was brought up in Portugal. Con Cody, who was born to an English family. Tyrone Mings, as his parents are both from Barbados and his grandparents are from African roots. Joe Gomez, whose father is a Gambian and his mother is of English origin. Ben White, whose parents are also from English roots. Mike Cain, who was born to England to an English mother and an Irish father. Ben Godfrey, who was born in England but is a descendant of Jamaican through his grandfather. James Tarkowski, who was born in England but is of Polish descendants. Louis Dunk, who is of pure English descendants. Moving on to Ben Chilwell, whose father and grandfather's heritage can be traced back to New Zealand, but his mom is of English origin. Luke Shaw, whose parents are both of English origin. Daniel Rose, who was born in the United Kingdom but to Jamaican parents. Trent Alexander-Arnold, who was born in England but is an American by nationality. Reece James, who was born in England but his heritage can be traced down to Africa, but little is known of the country which it is. Kyle Walker-Peters, who was born into a black British ethnic group but his origin can be traced back to Jamaica. Kyle Walker, who was also born in England and just like the previous Kyle Walker is also from Jamaican origin. Kieran Trippier, whose parents are both from English descendants. Declan Rice, who was born as a British man but is Irish descendants through his grandparents and parents. Calvin Phillips, who was born in England to an Irish mother and a Jamaican father. Harry Winks, who was also born in England, as his father is from England, but his mother and his grandparents are of Spanish descendants. Nathan Chambola, who was born in Sierra Leone to Sierra Leonean parents. Moving on to Phil Foden, who is of English origin from both his parents. Jude Bellingham, whose origin compromises of his father, who is from England, and his mother, who is of African roots. James Ward-Prowse, who was born and raised in England and is of pure English descendants. Jordan Henderson, who was also born in England to English parents. Conor Gallagher, who was born in England, but Gallagher's heritage can be traced back through his grandparents, either from his mother or his father's lineage from two countries, Scotland and Ireland. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, whose mother is an English woman and his father is a Jamaican man from his grandparents' side. Royce Barkley, who was born to an English mother and a Nigerian father. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who was born to an English mom but his father is of Guyana heritage. Fabian Delphi, who is also of English and Guyanese origin. Bukayo Saka, who was born to England but to Nigerian parents. Gerard Bowen, who is of English origin through his parents. Aaron Maitland-Niles, growing up in a single home, he was raised by his mom, who is of Jamaican origin. Mason Greenwood, who was born in England but is of Jamaican origin. Callum Hudson-Odoi, who was also born in England but is of Ghanaian origin. Mason Mount, whose parents are both from England. Jesse Lingard, who was born in England but his parental grandparents are from St. Vincent's and the Grenadines. Emil Smith-Rowe, who was born in England to English parents. James Maddison, who was also born in England but his origin can be traced back to the Republic of Ireland through one of his grandparents who are of Irish origin. Dele Alli, who was also born in England but to a Nigerian father and an English mother. Next is Ryan Sterling, who was born in Jamaica to Jamaican parents but moved to England. Jack Grealish, whose family roots can be traced back to English and Irish descendants. Harvey Barnes, whose grandparents are both descendants of Scotland. Jordan Sancho, whose parents are both from Trinidad and Tobago but moved to England to have their child. Marcus Rashford, who was born in England with a confusing mixed heritage, as his mother is from St. Kitts and Nevis and his father, Joseph Rashford, is from Jamaica. But a former Ghanaian named Michael Bowen claimed that he is of Ghana heritage. Damari Gray, whose parents are both of Jamaican roots. Next is Harry Kane, whose mother was born and raised in England but his father is of Irish descendants. Tammy Abraham, who was born to England but to Nigerian parents. Ivan Toney, who grew up in a single parent home with his mother who is from Jamaica and his siblings, but his father is from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, whose mother is of English roots and his father is possibly of African or Caribbean heritage. Owen Watkins, whose heritage can be traced back to England and Devon. Danny Ings, whose parents are both from English origin. Patrick Bamford, whose father is from England but his mother is of Irish roots. Callum Wilson, whose father is from Jamaica and his mother is from England. Danny Welbeck, who was born in England to Ghanaian parents. Wayne Rooney, who was born in England but his parents are from Irish descendants. And last but not the least, Jamie Vardy, whose parents are of English roots. With this, you can see that England just has only 20 pure bloods out of 70 players, which are Thanks for watching 70 best English players and their country of origin. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.